Alright, hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Best Loser. Today is Tuesday, the 9th of December 2025, and it's time for me to do the Mid-Week Forex Forecast for this week. Actually, I just recorded a 30-minute video and I just realized that my microphone was not really plugged. Okay, so well, I have decided to redo the video, but let's see how it goes. Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, I might actually do an abridged version of that particular video. Okay, all right. So without any further delays, guys, let's take a look at the economical calendar to see what we have in store. You can see already taking a look at the economical calendar for the week. We've already had the interest rate decisions, okay, from the Australian axis, all right, released earlier on Monday. No changes. I think this caused a little spike in the Australian dollar pairs, okay? But again, that's not my focus right now. You can see actually today we did have the job openings release and really positive figure, which we can see in the in the charts as well. You can see that we had a bullish move today in the US dollar crosses. Okay, so that's really nice going into tomorrow, because again, as you guys already know, tomorrow is the D-Day. We do have we have the press conference, okay? We have the press conference, the interest rate decisions coming from the Canadian axis and also the US axis, okay, tomorrow. So between 9:45 a.m. and 2:30 a.m., these markets will probably most likely give us some nice volatility, okay? That is kind of what I can see. Now, for the remainder of the week, we do have unemployment claims, I think on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. As you can see here, we do have unemployment claims coming out from the US axis. Then on same Thursday, we do have also the interest rate decisions coming up from the Swiss axis. So that's something to keep an eye on, okay? 3:30 a.m. Eastern time. And on Friday, we do have GDP data coming out from the British axis. So obviously enough high impact news to keep us to give us some nice volatility, in my own opinion. Okay, so again, without any further delays, guys, let's take a look and see what's going on in the charts. Kicking things off with DXY. As you can see here, well, the markets obviously since the week opened, we've had now some nice bullish move. You can see yesterday's candle was a bullish candle, today's candle again with a bullish candle. Markets are forming higher highs and higher lows, as you can see in the intraday time frames. If I go into, let's say, the hourly time frame right now, you will notice that again the market is forming higher highs and higher lows, but again, not really much. This could easily be a retracement move, okay, for the markets to now finally give us a nice push to the downside upon the release of the news. Okay, this is very, very possible. All right, so again, like I told you guys over the weekend forex forecast, as long as we are trading below these levels right here, okay, the bears are still in control. But if the news comes out, let's say we get a push to the downside and then a quick spike to the upside, taking up these levels clearly, then any demand zones that form around here, I'll be looking for opportunities to go long for further continuations to the upside. In my own opinion, the key level to keep an eye on is going to be, let's say, 110.40, okay, which is around the highs of this previous area. If the market begins to give us a break of that particular area, that in my own opinion is going to be really green lights for us to start searching for long opportunities for further continuations to the upside. Okay, again, let's see how it goes. Okay, this is pretty much what I'm seeing. We need to wait for that news to come out and see whether we get a spike to the downside. If we do, then obviously I keep an eye on this particular level as long as we take off this previous swing low. Okay, this becomes my key level of interest. But if we don't, let's say the market comes out and we just get, let's say, a push clearly without taking off these lows, then this becomes my area of interest, and then obviously I'll be keeping an eye on this area for demand zones that form for further continuations to the upside. Okay, like I said, guys, I'll be keeping you guys posted in the Discord channel. So if you want to see that, just join the Discord channel. It's free, so there's nothing there for you to lose. All right, so that's pretty much it for the DXY. Next up is going to be euro dollar. Okay, as you can see here in Eurodollar, obviously this is the equivalent demand zone that we have right now. Eurodollar has now broken that trend line, okay? But again, like I said, these markets can easily reset, okay? The news can be released tomorrow and boom, you can get another push to the upside. Very, very possible, okay? So again, take this trend line break with a pinch of salt. Anything is possible. This is not a time when you start rushing into short opportunities, okay? Or taking short positions, okay? Especially we are still trading inside this particular demand zone, even though we've broken this trend line. So markets can easily bounce off of this demand zone and give us a new swing to the upside, taking off these highs. Okay, so again, let's see how that happens. Okay, key levels to keep an eye on going into tomorrow, in my opinion, 1700, 1750. From these areas, any reversals from here, in my opinion, if we start pushing to the downside, taking off these lows, all right, then chances are any pullbacks, I'll be looking for supply zones that form for further continuations to the downside. Now, is it possible that the news comes out tomorrow, right, and well, the market just continues to push to the upside, breaking above this supply zone? Anything is possible. Then in that case, we'll just start to align with the markets and start searching for demand zones for further continuations to the upside. So again, a lot will happen. A lot will be determined by, let's say, the outcome of that news tomorrow. Are we going to have like a buy the rumor and sell the news kind of a thing? If that happens, which is pretty much going to be my best case scenario, then that would be an opportunity for me to start searching for short opportunities, okay, for further continuations to the downside. That would be the move that aligns pretty much with the trend, the longer term trend that we have here in euro dollar. Okay, but like I said again, obviously I'm not going to anticipate and say, you know what, let's go long right now and anticipate that the news is going to come out and give us a push to the upside. I would not do that. Okay, I wait for the news to come out, give me its push, show me its hands first before I make a trading decision. All right, and I will urge you to do the same as well. Okay, all right, so that's pretty much it for euro dollar. Next up is going to be British pound, some US dollar. Now the pound continues to be strong across the board. Okay, as you can see, with this particular pair has not even broken the trend line, and you can see price is pretty much close to that particular trend line. I think we might actually have a channel. If I am to draw it in here, we might have a channel, but again, price can easily from right around here start giving us a nice push to the upside. Okay, for a new swing to the upside. Okay, price can easily just turn around from here to give us a new swing to the upside. Okay, and in the case of pounds, based on the way the price action is right now, obviously the key level to keep an eye on will be this right here. So the market will need to give me a break of that level before I'm going to be interested in short opportunities in pounds. Okay, but in the event that, let's say, we get a nice push to the upside, taking off these highs, then this becomes my key level of interest, and then from here I'll be waiting for price to give me a break of this area, and then any supply zones that form, I'll be looking for opportunities to go short for further continuations to the downside. So again, a lot is gonna be in a wait and see kind of mode, all right, as we go into tomorrow. So let's see how it goes. That's it for GU. Next up is going to be AU. Now, AU, obviously, earlier during the week, we did have the interest rate release. And, well, obviously, if you guys remember, I told you guys that even though I'm keeping an eye on this particular demand zone, that price can easily give us a dip into this particular demand zone area, which is pretty much what the markets did, and give us a nice push to the upside, okay? But, again, I'm obviously not trading that high impact news. And, obviously, this move in here was done by the interest rate release before we got this nice push to the upside. So obviously there is no way that I would have been in this particular position. So well, again it's just nice to see that the demand zone is holding, all right, and the market's turned around from there. But that's pretty much it. Now I have to wait and see. This makes that particular move obviously led to a new high, and that makes this my key level of interest right now. So let's see if the market gives us a new push to the upside. Let's say we buy the rumor and sell the news. Then if we begin to get breaks to the downside, taking off these levels, then I'll be looking for short opportunities from these particular areas. In all honesty, this is not the best looking chart for the US dollar pairs. I think they're better looking pairs, so I'm most likely going to be taking any potential trades off of those pairs instead of this particular one. Just wanted to put that out there. All right, next up is going to be New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Again, this pair remains inside this particular zone that we have right here. You can see obviously the markets might easily give us a nice push to the upside just to grab liquidity above these areas. Okay, it's very, very possible we get that push to the upside, and from here the markets just begin to drop. If that happens, obviously this area becomes my key level of interest, and any pullbacks, obviously I'll be looking for opportunities to go short for further continuations to the downside. This is going to be my preferred course of action as we go into tomorrow. Okay, obviously I will not be taking any trades before the news. Like I said, I'll wait. If the market gives me a push to the downside from here, upon the release of the news, then obviously this level would have been taken out easily, and then obviously wait for price to pull back, and then from there start searching for short opportunities or for supply zones as well. So in either case, I'm more interested in going short. But in the event that we begin to clearly break and stay above, okay, these particular levels, then that tells me that the bulls are coming into this market. Then if the market begins to give me information of this nature, any demand zones that form in this area will be of interest to me. You can also see we have the key level of, let's say, 5,800 around that area as well. So again, it's all about how does the market push off of this level and how do we push to the downside. Okay, if it's more of a retracement, then that means most likely the bulls are in this market. But if it's more of a push up and then a quick spike to the downside, taking off lows, then that in my own opinion is a spike, a liquidity grab, and then from there I'll be more interested in going shorts. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to be keeping you guys posted in the Discord channel if I take any positions. All right, that's it for New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Next up is going to be US dollar Swiss francs. Now for US dollar Swiss francs, guys, this market is moving as anticipated. If you remember, I had told you guys that, well, I like how this market is giving me a break of this trend line. We got that breakout, we got a pullback, we got a continuation, taking off these highs, okay, and since then the market has been forming higher highs. Okay, so again, the market is pretty much generally in an uptrend in the intraday time frame, but again, it is not very decisive. You can see there is not much. The market is not really taking off in momentum, as you can see right now. So in my own opinion, it's very possible the news gets released, we grab liquidity off of these levels, okay, take off all of these levels, if possible, maybe a possible retest of 0.800, and then from there the markets can easily give us a nice push to the upside. This would be my preferred course of action. But let's say the news comes out and the market just collapses from here, begins to take off these lows, and if we get a move like this, then that in my own opinion will be an opportunity to start searching for short opportunities for further continuations to the downside. So again, like I said, there are a lot of scenarios here. We need to wait and see how the news how the market behaves upon the news release tomorrow and after the press conference. All right, next up, US dollar Canadian dollar. Very similar story. Price right now is inside the demand zone that we have on the daily. You can see we got this really nice push to the upside. I am still generally bullish in this particular market because again, if you go into the monthly time frame, this market is in, bouncing off of a demand zone. Okay, you can see this demand zone that led to the break of this level of structure, and again the market is just bouncing off, pull back, and in my opinion we still have a nice room for movement to the upside. Okay, so in the event, let's say that this news comes out tomorrow and this market, let's say, gives us a push to the downside but then a quick break back to the upside, then in my own opinion that will be green lights to start searching for demand zones for further continuations to the upside. Okay, just to kind of take a look, you can see that if we read price action a little further, you notice that the previous day closed the pin bar, all right, and yesterday's candle has now also closed the pin bar, okay, and pretty much same highs, all right. So this level right around, let's say 138.60, is now a key level on our charts of interest because that's been the high for 2 days now. So again, very possible I'm going to be keeping an eye at around that 138.60 area. So if the market, let's say the news gets released tomorrow and we sweep these lows, grab liquidity below here and begin to break above this level 138.60, then any pullbacks, any demand zones that form around here, I'll be looking for opportunities to go long for further continuations to the upside. Okay, so that's going to be my game plan for US dollar Canadian dollar. All right, so next up is going to be US dollar Japanese yen. Now this one, obviously I got a really nice position I got in earlier this week, but again, this is not what this video is for. Nice, the market has given us a push. Obviously I would like to see the markets give us a push towards, let's say, 157.40 area, but again, it's a lot of uncertainty right now. There are a few demand zones of interest in my own opinion. You can see this particular demand zone area that we have around here, 15600 being a key level, obviously this demand zone that led to the break of this level of structure. So the markets can give us a push in here, retest 15600, and from here the bulls can come back and continue to push these markets to the upside. The markets, the news can come out tomorrow, we get a spike towards, let's say, 155.50. From here the markets can also turn around. Okay, all in all, I would prefer to see a bullish move in this particular market. Okay, I'm only interested in buying dollar yen at this point. Now, the news will have to come out really bad tomorrow to start giving me a nice break, taking off these lows. Okay, that is the only time I will probably start to see, if this market is, finally turning bearish, for me to start searching for short opportunities for further continuations to the downside. But as long as we are remaining above these highs, in my own opinion, those are going to be significant pullbacks for further continuations to the upside. Now, let's say before the news tomorrow, this pair gives us a nice push. Let's say from here, during the Tokyo session, we get a nice push from here to retest these highs. Then all of everything I have said becomes almost invalidated, because again, we most likely will now have new demand zones somewhere around here that the markets can, generally bounce off of, and price would have also retested my profit targets level. So I just wanted to kind of keep that. I just want to kind of keep that in mind as we go into tomorrow. So my key level of action, let's say the market doesn't get to this area, and let's say we begin to retrace. This is going to be first level that I will expect the bulls to come back into this market, or if we do break that one, this is another area that I will expect the bulls to come back into the markets. Okay, so again, let's see how it goes as we go into tomorrow. Now, GJ, pretty much same scenario. Okay, if you guys remember, over the weekend Forex Forecast, I had identified this flat top triangular formation that we have in this area, and I was waiting for a breakout pullback continuation. Didn't quite get that. The market just continued to push to the upside. But earlier today we did get an intraday position. For those of you in the Discord channel, we went long somewhere around here, and we wrote this nice push to the upside. Okay, that was a nice 3-hour position as well. So for those of you who are interested in the Discord, feel free to join. It's free. There's nothing to lose. Okay, all right, so enough of that. Right now the market obviously has a few demand zones that I'm keeping an eye on. You can see this particular demand zone in here that led to the break of this level of structure, so I'm tracking it to see if the market is going to give me a dip in here, and we can easily continue from here. If the market doesn't respect this particular demand zone, this is another one that led to the break of this level of structure. If we get a dip in here, I'm waiting for the same thing, same way. This is the 4 hours. If we get in here, 20700 becomes a key level of interest for me, and then from there I'll also be looking for opportunities to go long. So again, like I said, these are the demand zones that I'm kind of keeping an eye on right now in British pounds and Japanese yen. And obviously, if I do make any trading decisions, I'm going to be keeping you guys posted in the Discord channel. All right, so that's pretty much it for GJ. Next up is going to be Euro Yen. Euro Yen finally has ended that particular game it was playing. Okay, you remember we were bouncing up and down between demand and supply for this particular pair, and finally you can see now the bulls have succeeded in overpowering the bears. Okay, and you can see that the bulls came into this market. Not only did we take off the supply zone, we have also taken off this high that we have around 18200 institutional price level. All right, and you can see in here, this is obviously a nice demand zone area, in my own opinion, that led to the break of this level of structure, and it's right around that 18200 institutional price level. So I'm going to be obviously keeping a very close eye on this one. Should the markets give me a push into this particular area, anywhere from right around here, any pullbacks, I'll be looking for opportunities to go long for further continuations to the upside. All right, this is a key level. Now, markets can easily give us a quick spike in towards, let's say, 180-150, but I'm not looking so likely right now. But it's also possible that markets pushes into this particular area as well, and from here the markets will try to turn around. Regardless of the situation, regardless of the case, I'm more interested in searching for long opportunities off of demand zones that form in this particular chart. Okay, so let's see how that goes. That's it for Euro Yen. Next up is going to be Australian dollar Japanese yen. Very, very similar as well. Just like the other yen crosses, I have a few demand zones of interest, and obviously the first one in this case is this one sitting right here, where I would like to see the markets give me a dip in here. Let's say 103.75 level, anywhere from right around here. Any reversals, I'll be looking for opportunities to go long for further continuations to the upside. If we make it down into this 4 hours demand zone as well, again, I'm also going to be keeping an eye in here for reversals. So like I said, my game plan right now for the yen crosses is pull back into demand zones and reversals for further continuations to the upside. Is it possible that from here the market just continues to shoot to the upside? Well, if we begin to clearly break above these levels, then obviously demand zones would have formed, and I'll just be waiting for more markets to pull back in there for further continuations to the upside as well. Like I said, I'm going to be keeping you guys posted. All right, so that's it for Australian dollar Japanese yen. Next up is going to be gold. Now, for gold, again, gold, obviously, if I go into the 4 hours time frame, you notice that gold is still inside this particular ranging markets. Okay, you can see earlier today we retested the lows of that particular range, and from there now the market is pretty much around the midline of this range. Not much going on right now. My preferred course of action for gold will obviously be for the markets to give me a clear break above these particular highs that we have here. Any pullbacks, I'll be looking for demand zones that form, all right, for further continuations to the upside. Okay, that will be my preferred course of action in gold. It's also possible that again gold can give us a push to the downside, all right, maybe just to grab liquidity below these areas that we have around here. Okay, and then bounce off of this trend line area. From here, any reversals again, I'll be looking for opportunity to go long for further continuations to the upside. Those are my key levels and will I say key areas of interest when it comes to gold. So let's see how the market will behave. All right, last well, actually not the last, next up is going to be silver. Again, silver continues to outperform the gold. You remember over the weekend market was trading inside this particular range right here, and finally we got that nice push to the upside, clearly breaking above that range and continuing to move in the direction of the trend, creating demand zones that led to the break of this level of structure that we can see right here. So again, what I would like to see now is for markets to give me a pullback, let's say 5800 institutional level, anywhere from right around here. Any pullbacks, I'll be looking for opportunities to go long for further continuations to the upside. Let's see how it goes. If the market doesn't give us that deep of a pullback as well, obviously I'm going to be monitoring these charts, and if there are any demand zones that formed in the intraday time frames, markets can easily bounce as well, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on those as well. So again, like as usual, I'm going to be keeping you guys posted in the Discord channel. All right, so that's it for silver. The last but not the least is Bitcoin. Bitcoin finally makes it back to that demand zone area that I had pointed out. If you guys remember, this is the demand zone and the supply zone in the daily chart that I told you guys about. Now, this is obviously a key decision area for Bitcoin in my own opinion. Okay, right now the market needs to make a decision. Are we going to get a clear break to the upside, taking off this supply zone? In my opinion, that will be the first move by the bulls to show that they are now obviously overpowering the bears. But a clear break of this level right here is going to be needed, okay, to confirm that the bulls now mean business. Okay, and then any pullbacks from there, in my own opinion, I'll be searching for demand zones that form for further continuations to the upside. Okay, so that's gonna be the level right now. But if from here, let's say, obviously, like I said, this is a key decision point, so the bears can also come in from here and continue to push these markets to the downside, which is going to be honestly my preferred course of action. I want to see that happen. I want us to take off this low, push down towards 70,000 and even 65,000 levels, so that we can buy from interesting levels. Okay, so that is going to be or let's say buy from cheaper levels. So that is my preferred course of action, but for right now it's almost like a wait and see what the market does. Like I said, if from here we don't make a new low, this is the key level that the bulls need to take off. If from here we make a new low, this becomes the new level that the bears we need to take off, or the bulls we need to take off. So again, it all depends on the anatomy of the markets by the time the market begins to break key levels of structure. All right, so that's pretty much it for this particular week's midweek forex forecast. Like I said, guys, the market is going to be most likely of high volatility from now to the end of the week as a result of the interest rate releases that we have scheduled on the economical calendar. Regardless whether you buy or whether you sell, please ensure to keep your risk managed, okay, so that you'll be able to trade another day. Okay, all right, that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, I'm going to be keeping you guys posted in the Discord channel, so feel free to follow my Discord, and obviously let's see how it goes. I'm also looking forward to seeing what the news has in store for us tomorrow, so let's see how it goes. I'll keep you guys posted. Cheers, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.